Hello all, welcome back. I I'm just going to try and make a quick video here. Um, I'm on my laptop. I don't have my microphone, and my son is in his bed, and he's probably going to make a lot of noise. So I apologize in advance for that. So I get asked quite frequently about recovering files with DMDE. So this is the software here, DMDE, and it's basically a disk editor and data recovery software. And I'll leave the link in the description below. Um, there's a free version, and also you can buy the software. Um, it's it's relatively cheap. Um, it works on Windows, Mac, Linux. It's quite good. I recommend it often. So I have a drive here, and I'm just going to try and see if I can get this to work for the purpose of this video. I actually had it uh, in my bag, and I found it. I don't even know what I used it for in the past, to be honest with you. And it might take a minute when I plug it in to get um, to initializing red. It may pop up right away because I've already plugged it in. But you can see I've plugged it in now, and it's not showing up in the Explorer here. And if I go to my Windows tools and go to my control panel and system and security and check the create and format hard disk partitions, we should be able to see here, um, hopefully. Now, the last time I did this, it actually made Explorer crash because it was trying to read the disk for so long. And as you can see right now, that disk management is not even opening up. So I'm just going to unplug the drive, and let me see if I can do that again. So I'm going to open it again. And this time, hopefully, there we go. Okay, so you can see that I have the one drive, which is the drive in my laptop right now. So I'm just going to plug this back in. You can see that now there is data on this drive, and it's just like a 2.5-inch 100 gigabyte SATA SSD from Dell. It's actually an old drive that I got out of the garbage that I've been using. So you can see when I plug it in, now you can't see on my desk here, but I'm actually sitting on my couch, but my reader is going like crazy trying to read this drive. So I'm just going to close this stuff here, and I've already downloaded the DMDE software here. So I'm just going to open it up. And earlier when I did this, it took a few minutes for the drive to even get recognized. So I'm just gonna try and see if I can get it to work while I'm making this video here. So you can see that everything is kind of like frozen here, and nothing is opening because they're both trying to access the drive at the same time. Um, so I'm actually going to unplug the drive again, and you can see it did populate for a second there, right? And you can see it kind of showed here for a second. Okay, so I'm just going to plug it back in. Now, this is not going to be a video that explains all the ins and outs of this software because it's actually quite intuitive and there's a lot to it. So I'm just gonna give you like a brief overview. I'm not really gonna explain anything or teach you how to use it. I'm not even sure if I can get it to populate right now. So we could see here that it's actually showing here now. So what you're gonna do is select the disk, which is going to be disk 1. You can see that disk 0 over here is my NVMe drive in my laptop. So I'm just going to close this for now. And it says down here, it says wait accessing drive, device 1. So it'll say not responding, but just give it some time and eventually it's going to read the drive. So this is basically what you're going to see when you first open the software. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the steps here for this data recovery. I don't know what's on this drive, so I'm going to stop before it shows what's on the drive, but I'm just going to go through the process here. Okay, now this is not the forensic way of doing things. This is not the way that a professional would do it in a forensic environment for, for law enforcement. This is just for, you have a drive, there's something on there you want to get, it's not populating in Windows, and you want to get the data off. Let's say it's like wedding pictures or something. I'm not going to go through the correct way of doing it in this video. Normally, you would use another software to take an image of the drive that's damaged, and then you would do your data recovery from the image. So now that I've got the disk selected here, I'm just going to select OK. And it's basically going to go through and search the drive for partitions. Okay. Once it searches the drive and locates the partitions, you can at that time you can do a full scan, and then from there you can retrieve your data. Okay, so I'm probably not going to do a full scan in this video. I don't know how much stuff is on here, and I don't know what's on here. So I may stop just before that, but more or less this is the process to get you started. Okay, so you scan for partitions. Once the scan is complete, you do a full scan. You can save the scan as a file so that DMDE can read that file in the future and you don't have to go through this whole process again. Okay, so it's looking for the partitions on the drive here. All right, once the partitions are found and the data is visible to the software, then you can start the recovery process. So I'm just going to let this finish here. It should only take a second. And what I recommend you do is actually go to the DMDE website and go through the documentations to get more familiar with the software. But honestly, I've bought this software in the past. So I'm just going to say ignore this for now. I didn't get this error actually. Let's see. I didn't get this error before. So I'm probably going to just stop it there. Let's see. It's saying there's an input output error. Yeah, I didn't get this error the last time. So I don't really know what's wrong with this drive at this time, but I think it was working before. Um, I'm not quite sure what exactly happened to it. I know there is probably some data on there, probably some virtual machines or something. I'm not quite sure, but and I don't know how long this will take here. But more or less, once the scanning is finished here, you're basically just going to select the volume, the entire volume, or you can select individual partitions. So you can see here that it's found the first sector, the last sector, right? So it says here select. So you could just select the disk here, right? And let's see if I open the volume. So it's probably not going to give me. So I'm actually going to abort this for now because So what I want to do, oops, hang on, I shouldn't have clicked that. This drive is extremely slow, even though it's an SSD. Um, one of the things about the software is you can't really like override certain things. Like even though I'm clicking abort, it's not actually aborting the operation. It's like it kind of gets frozen, if you will. Um, I don't know why that is. Okay, so I'm just gonna see yes. Okay, there we go. So we could see here. So on here, yeah. So these are like virtual machines, I think, that I have on here. So let's say, for example, um, yeah, these are all virtual machines. I think these are from VulnHub. These here. So basically, what you can do from this point here is you can just select whatever file you want. Let's just say I want this one, and then you can save it to another location. So I don't want to do a full scan. So I'm going to say recover. Basically, you go to recover here, and it's going to ask you where you want to recover the file. So you can just select like another disk here if you plug in like another disk. Um, so let's just try this one. So let me do that again because I was kind of rambling on there. So once you've selected your data partition here, um, let's see. Once you've selected your data partition and you sort of let it go through the analysis of the drive. So I'm just going to select, let's see, let's do, yeah, I'll just do this one that I had before. So you could select them all. I'm just going to select one, and then you go to tools and then recover, and then you only do the marked only, right? And then it's going to ask you to where. So I'm just going to save it to my downloads for now, okay? And then you just hit OK. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to go through and it's going to recover the data for that file. And it doesn't matter if it's you know, a zip file, a PDF file, a text file, a picture, and you can select multiple files. Okay? So that's basically how it works. And I don't know how long this is going to take because it's actually going to read the file and then write the file, and the drive is obviously corrupted, but you can see that the data is all there. Whatever I had saved there before, even though Windows, um, like you can see now that I've gone through with the DMDE, it's actually created the structure for me. I can actually open it here too now. So I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna let me. So I'm just gonna leave it there because this is probably going to it. The thing with this software is it's very powerful. So you can see here it's reading and it's writing, right? It's very powerful, but and I'm just using a laptop, and my laptop, it's not like a power horse or anything, but I mean um it's got 16 logical processors. It's an 8-core AMD. It's a good laptop. But this software is very powerful, and it will make your computer freeze up, and I've had it crash Explorer from time to time, so you kind of have to be patient with it. But look, it's a good software. If it's very complicated, there's a lot of documentation. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's complicated software. I probably only know about 5% of what you can do with it. But if you have something critical on a damaged drive, like a document or something like that, and you're in a jam, this is great, right? I mean, it works really, really well. I don't know how long this is going to take. You can see now it's at 10%. So, and I'm just using like a USB 3 to SATA connector, an external connector, right? And I just have the raw drive plugged in. So, anyway, I hope this helped you. Um, if you're interested in a more in depth explanation or analysis of the drive, let me know. This is sort of kind of, it has to do with forensics. So, um, a lot of people ask me, like, well, how do I use DMDE? How do I get started? So, hopefully, this video helped you out a little bit. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.